Mexico, and owning Mexico. Like I say, um, it was somewhere around when Mexico declared their independence. Like I said, you would find out that basically LS or Lucifer White Star Lines, I played a much bigger role in this planet than you might think, actually. Um, Me and my white fleet of ships. Like I said, it was Ireland, or the Irish assisted me, I believe, in that one. I forget exactly which group it was. Like I said, very quickly, I basically owned all of Spain. Um, I owned Mexico. Um, I mean, it's part of helping or building or something like that. I was doing mining, and like I said, I knew um, uh, Paulina Violina. Basically, I forget. It was this great woman of Mexico. Like I said, you could search your history books or look back at Mexican history, and there's this great woman of Mexico, and um, and there's pictures of her. It was back sometime when the film crews were there and stuff like that. It was this great woman in Mexico, and she had three husbands, and one of them was the Mexican outlaw or whatever else like that. Anyway, like I said, we went there. We gave them steam power, steam stuff. I believe probably stuff from Lincolnshire or something like that. Basically, it was my Irish people that were selling them stuff or trading stuff, giving them stuff, and doing stuff like that. And anyway, though, in the end, though, like I said, as you know, we declared Mexico independent, or Mexico's independence, basically, or I granted them independence or whatever. Basically, I owned all of Mexico, and I was like, you know, in my usual, So basically, I left Mexico over to her, basically, and pretty much, and she was the one that was in charge of Mexico long, long ago, and basically, and she started building. We built her a town or two towns or three towns, and Mexico kind of grew from there. So basically, like I said, I had the love of Mexico as I declared their independence and also gave them a lot of guns, and then we left. It's safer that way. So anyway, and like I said, Mexico is independent and free and clear, and basically so. Well, but first though, I bought all the land in Mexico, and the truth was there wasn't that many people there until I started doing mining and everything else like that. So basically, I own all of Mexico, but it's like, whatever. Don't kill people. Yeah, whatever. But basically, I was the one. LS. Like I said, LS would go everywhere. That's why I have my island. That's why I have America and all that stuff. We went to Mexico, the Irish people and stuff like that, and I was building a town over there, and plus had some movie stuff doing done over there, and then I left it up to left the country of Mexico. And I was like, "Viva la Mexico!" As a Lucifer star. Um, Anyway, and so then the Mexicans they did whatever in Mexico. Anyway, whatever like I say, I mean, like I said, that's why there's a $600 trillion bounty on my head. But it's like, well, I own half the planet or own the whole planet at one point in time. Different things. Like I said, my different groups. We went to Romania. you know, you'd always say like a little child or a little Lucifer star. Romania. And so we went to Romania, we built factories and did stuff and led people and farmed and all that stuff, and then my people left. I mean, um, we moved around. Like I said, my Irish immigrants, my people, they weren't. What you classify as immigrants were actually my employees or my people, basically. And I was doing different things in different places and building and stuff like that. And like I said, I had a big role in Germany, especially, and stuff like that. Like, I'd tell you all the different things, and it's like, it was a long time ago, whatever. Like I said, that's why Nixon and JFK and they were all scared and everything else like that, and they had no idea. Like even Rodney had no idea. Like nobody on Earth really had any idea of how involved I had been with Earth and everything else like that, like Earth especially, and other planets. Like I said, there's other planets too where I did stuff. Anyway, so everybody wanted to be led by me and all that stuff. Anyway, so like I say, that's why Trumpy and everybody else and a lot of congressmen, a lot of Democrats, and a lot of other people had such a high price on my head. I said the French farms that did the cocaine plantations in Mexico or someplace down there. That was me. Yeah, they were doing it for me. Those were my farms. It's like, eventually I believe later on the Republicans or the Democrats or some idiot would go in there and shoot up all my people or stuff and try and take them over and go, ah, you know. Anyway, shrug. Like I say, I don't care anymore. It was in the past. I was your great leader. And we led, we built, all the trains, all my steam power. That's why my LS steam trains went everywhere. My White Star Line steam engines, stars on the steam engines. That's why there's so many traction engines, star gears, star this, star that, because it was Lucifer Star. Me. With an S, by the way. No, there's no C in my name. There's no C in my name, it's S. It's SS. Lucifer Star. So, anyway, and stuff like that. Anyway, like I say, that's why Rodney and all these other people would try and pretend to be me or try and do whatever, because I led you at many great points in your existence and played a huge role in everything that you are, and I was very proud of all my people. I forget exactly what Mexicans did, but Mexicans did something. I don't remember what Mexico did, but they did something. Like I said, Mexico, I don't know, fought for independence or whatever. They were pretty cool. Anyway, I love Mexico. I do. I don't know. Mostly there's that one girl. There's this one Mexican beauty that enchanted me. And she was, just her voice. Like I said, just her voice was enough. Anyway, we built her an estate and all kinds of stuff, and built her a small little town, and it grew and 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 grew. Like I said, Truman had nothing on me. Truman was just a person, and like I said, he was a Republican stooge or something like that. And then of course there was also Roosevelt, which was supposed to be working for me, but wasn't working for me. And like I said, I talked to the Irish about Roosevelt. So anyway. Like I said, that's why Nixon and JFK and Jimmy Carter and everyone was like and that's why even Rodney and Rick Bush is like because it's like, what are you fools doing? We're not alone. There's exoskeletons. There's 1.5s. You found the skeletons, and for years I was like there's 1.5 life forms, and they're like, you're crazy, and then you finally find the cave with the 1.5 life forms in there. With the mummified remains of the 1.5s. It's like, there they are. I told you they were there. They were around. They used to be here. They should be on one of the other planets, probably on Mars or somewhere else, looking down on us. I don't think they would ever die or anything else like that. I mean, and whatever. They're great little life forms. They're wonderful. I don't know if they were cloned or what exactly they were. They were very advanced. They used to have wife and husband, and somebody was trying to take away their sex organs or something like that. But I don't know. That's not okay. I mean, I thought sex was getting in the way of them, but I don't know. So anyway, because sex seemed to cause a problem with the human race or something like that. But I don't know. But they're wonderful little life forms. I love them very much. Anyway, probably fighting for their sex organs back. I don't know. Anyway, I think they were eventually returned and made whole again or something like that. But like I said, there's also the exoskeletons. I mean, there's many, many life forms out there in the universe, and that's why a lot of people are like, there's no calls from space. There's no calls from space. It's like, what are you talking about? There's 12 or 120 other planets out there. Like, I mean, stop lying. There's a whole galaxy coming at us with life forms on it. There's no other life forms in space. The whole other galaxy with life on it coming over here should be here in about 680 billion years. What are you talking about? I mean, what are you, fucking nuts? Are you deaf? Like, I mean, we're not alone. I mean, Rodney and Rosalie and Rick Bush and a bunch of other people that were trying to isolate me and make sure I died before I told you about everything might have wanted you to think that we're alone in the universe, but we're not. There's a colony ship, the LSS. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of squatters inside my White House. And a bunch of supposed Republicans or Democrats or congressmen that are basically squatting in houses pretending to run the government or something like that. It's like, I don't know. After 600, after 90 trillion years or some odd billion years, like it's like, I'm over it. Oh, by the way, Knight Rider was my show. Magnum PI. I gave them the cars. Like they kept on saying, Magnum bought them all those cars. It's like, no, Magnum didn't buy them all those cars. I gave them the cars. I was trying to promote my Ferrari or whatever. One of my car manufacturers. I should have actually gotten Lamborghinis. They're much better cars. But the Ferrari is a good car too. TV show around a car. But personally, I like the Lamborghini better. It's four-wheel drive for one thing. It's my perfect car. Like the Lamborghini, I wanted a perfect sports car. And so, and they built a perfect, the DeLorean was awesome, but the DeLorean, I was thinking all-wheel drive. I wanted an all-wheel drive car. And Rodney and everybody else was like, what do you need all-wheel drive for? What do you need all-wheel drive for? What do you need two-wheel drive for? What do you need minimal slippery? It costs money. It's like, no, it does not. Building a better, Rodney was always on me about the cost of the car. It's too much. It's like, it doesn't cost any more. Whether you build a piece of crap or you build a good car, it costs about the same. Believe it or not. Like there is no, a bunch of people were trying, it doesn't cost as much. Like, what are you, lazy? Build the best car ever. Like, shit. Bunch of people like, wait, is your back hurting? Are you tired of building cars? Is that it? Oh, poor you. Meanwhile, Titanic, Leviathan, Lusitania, Irish, Bagpipe, dude. I was like, go Ireland. And Rodney's like, the cars are costing too much. It costs too much to build cars. And the Irish are like, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go over there with them. Just gonna go be in Ireland. I was like, you know what, Rodney? I was like, you know what, Rodney? I'm just gonna go be with Ireland, or maybe Australia, or maybe India. Or maybe China, or maybe Russia. You could stay here with the fat ass losers of Detroit. Meanwhile, the Irish are like reinventing what is possible. With my triple expansion steam, my steam engines, and I'm like, go Ireland, woohoo! White Star Lines. For White Star Lines, and it's like they embrace me. They embrace my ideas. They embrace my ideals, and they did it. And epic steamships, huge amounts of money, marble. Like I said, big hug to Ireland. I love you. Linen clothing, and big sails, and like my people. What to go with my people? I don't like America. It sucks. Anyway, whatever. The old country. I miss it. All my big, beautiful big ships, my battleships, my Irish steel, my German steel. That was epic. It's beautiful. I wish you could have been there. Like I say to all the children, I wish you could have been there. It was awesome. It was amazing,